Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, welcome to the Grand Drive for our market steer. Thank you for all you folks that's been with us throughout the day. Brad, what a show.
Yep, it was tremendous.
I mean, for the first time we've ever been in this facility, it'll be a steer show I'll never forget. I mean, the 120th National Western, it was as deep and as good as there was, and we were talking about how good the structure was on those cattle. But I'm going to tell you, tonight's going to be pretty special to see these calves. 15 classes.
Yet either.
Huh?
I said I don't think there's anything cut and dried. I think they're going to have to look at it pretty hard tonight here.
No, the way they talked Class 6, the way they talked Class 8, 9, 10. I mean, even that calf that won Class 12, they were all unanimous, I think, on that calf too. So I think it's and of course the pomp and circumstance. We got a huge crowd here on both sides. So he's ready to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 120th running of the National Western Stock Show and our event this evening in the new and beautiful CoBank Arena, our grand drive for the market steers in the junior division. Before we get started with the judging of the grand drive, there's individuals that we need to introduce because this does not happen without a multitude of people. And we want to make sure and take a minute to say thank you for all that they do. Walking into the arena at this time are the members of the Junior Livestock Sale Committee and also board members of the National Western Stock Show. So when they get seated, we will continue. Do we have enough chairs, folks? If not, we need some? Are we good? Okay. I want to start by introducing Mr. Wes Allison and his wife Jennifer. Thank you for being here. Wes Allison is the president and CEO of the National Western Stock Show. Next, Mr. Bruce Wagner, chairman of the Junior Livestock Sale Committee and also the treasurer of the board. Bob Haycoop, vice chairman of the Livestock Committee. Now the Livestock Committee's members that are here: Randy Block, Rita Ann Carey, Justin Cumming, Lee Daly, Seth Grant, Mike Harry, Martin Hummel, Blake Hutchinson, John Corey, Joseph O'Day, Beth Ann Parsons, Brownwin Peppel, Colette Ratcliffe Grimshaw, Dave Soggy, John Staley, Don Thorne. Now for the board of directors: Barth Whittam, Justin Cumming, Brooke Fox, Luke Lind, Guy McIndeffer, and Dr. Kelly Tischer. I also would like to introduce folks that are what we call behind the scenes, but this would not operate without them. Clint Chinsky, Vice President, Livestock Operations. Jennifer Boca, Senior Livestock Operations Director. Brandy Fuller, Livestock Operations Coordinator. Landry Heidenreich, Livestock Operations Coordinator. Erica Schrader, Special Events. Corinne Hummel, Junior Livestock Committee Chair. Up here in front, Mark Arndt with the Ethics Committee. Bo Sanders with WW Livestock that supplies the scales. Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce those individuals that were a part of the cattle show today. And you ran an amazing show, folks. Mr. Luke Lind. Mark and Tammy Anderson. Guy McIndeffer. Sarah Shields. Dr. Jennifer Martin. And Maddie Williams. I also want to thank the royalty, the queens that are over here to my left. They're going to be here to help with the presentation of the awards. All the interns, again, can't do it without them. If you're an intern, raise your hand or wave. Thank you for being here and all the work you're doing. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the people in the black vests or the black coats that say volunteers, if you see one of them, shake their hand and tell them thank you, because they do a lot and they're volunteers. So thank you very much, volunteers. Appreciate it. At this time, our state FFA officers will be presenting the colors. If you would please rise, remove cover. Presenting the United States flag is Thomas Shaw. Presenting the Colorado flag, Blake Herrera. Presenting the National Western Stock Show flag, Cassie Claridge. And the young lady that is going to perform our national anthem this evening, Abby Isler.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much. You did an amazing job. Thank you, Abby. At this time, I would like to reintroduce the judges that spent their day working through the 15 classes of market steers. They did an amazing job. There's a gentleman that's going to explain why there's 3 of them after I introduce them. So our judges for the day, Dr. Blake Bloomberg, right down here. Raise your hand, Doc. Thank you. Kendall Reitzenstein. Brent Murphy, and Joe Epperly. Where you at, Joe? Are you going to explain why we got 3 judges, or you want to do it later? Okay. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Sarah Shields, who is going to explain and present the Stow Witwer Award.
Thank you so much. Briefly, we're going to talk about, is there no place like the National Western? And you know, I have loved this place for 3 generations deep in my family. No place like Denver, a tradition that started when there was that vision of legacy and knowing that there's a commitment to our open cattle and our juniors. Tonight, it's all about our juniors, and we work with these kids believing in them because they're the future of agriculture. But tonight, it's also about those who believe in all of you as junior exhibitors, to the extent of giving countless hours. The Stow Witwer Award began with a gentleman named Stow Witwer, and in 1944 he joined the National Western Stock Show Board and served it for many years on the board and as the Junior Livestock Show Committee Chair. He, like the many others before him, had a vision for what the future of this needed to look like for our youth. If you think back when we started showing cattle at the National Western over 120 years ago, at 120 years, we were showing under a tent that in 1911 became the Stadium Arena. And in 2026, we stand here because of the vision and commitment of the many good people that make National Western special, and the commitment of the exhibitors who never fail to love the National Western as we do. So tonight is a distinct honor for me, because the Stow Witwer Award was all about that commitment. And a gentleman in Stow Witwer who gave countless hours as a Livestock Show Committee Chairman. It is such an honor to bring out Corinne Hummel as our Stow Witwer Award. Corinne Hummel started here in 1977. This is my favorite story. You guys listen to this. She was that voice of the National Western in 1977 with a headset and the wires on the board that said, "National Western Stock Show, how may I direct your call?" And she gave people the answers when they called in. That was 1977. That was when she cut her teeth in the Livestock Center auction arena where her dad, Casey Kemp, served as our private treaty bull sale manager. And in the 1960s and 70s, he wouldn't let a carload bull go home. He made sure there was a buyer for everyone that came to the National Western. One of the attributes that makes National Western special, because we care about making sure that our exhibitors have the best run while they're here. This lady knew the love of that show came from her dad. She's bringing up the next generation, that grandson, Whit Craig. There's 3 generations. There's 3 girls who grew up right here at National Western. This lady has not missed in the 30 years she has served as your Livestock Show Junior Show Committee Chairman. She's not missed a champion drive of any species. She is always at the gate. You will always see her not knowing who she is, because it's not about who she is. It's important to her. It's about who these kids are and how much she believes in them. She's countless hours. You'll see her in a testing vest because we don't have enough folks to take some samples. You'll see her running packets to make sure that you all know what's happening for Premier Exhibitor. You'll see her at every single meeting that these gentlemen rely on her for her insight, her integrity, and her commitment to this show that started clear back when her dad was here. And she loves it that much. Her girls love it that much. I love her that much. You couldn't ask for a better show committee chairman, because she cares deeply for what you think and your feedback, and she listens, and she brings that back to the committee. She brings that to the Executive Livestock Committee. She shares your voice, and she hears you. So give her a great round of applause. There's no one deserving for Stow Witwer. Her family is here. She doesn't know it. If I could have them come out, you need to see this beautiful family that loves this show as I do. Welcome, the Hummel family. Sister Mary and husband Jeff, son-in-law Daniel, daughter Autry, Maddie Hummel, and Whit Craig. Let's give them a great round of applause again.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get started. Before we start with the steers tonight, we want to honor the showmanship winners from yesterday. Are they live? Yeah, there they are. So champion junior showman, the NSLs from Omaha, Nebraska. Reserve champion junior showman, Caston Dorsey from Shallowater, Texas. I think she tried to beat the storm, so she's not here this evening. Champion intermediate showman, Hadley Dunclaw, Wayne, Nebraska. Reserve champion intermediate showman, Kinsley Krebs, Gordon, Nebraska. Again, trying to beat the storm home. Champion senior showman, Harley Henney, Angola, Indiana. And your reserve champion senior showman, Kelton Arthur from Stillwater, Oklahoma. Welcome to the National Western. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will introduce the grand drive for 2026 Market Beef. We will parade the reserve champions of the 15 classes first, and then we'll bring in the champions. Class 1 reserve champion, Katie Ramsey from Waurika, Oklahoma. Reserve champion out of class number 2, Kinsley Bremer from Fullerton, Nebraska. Reserve champion out of class number 3, Libby Pode from Cisco, Texas. Reserve champion out of class number 4, Copper Popelka, Levelland, Texas. Reserve champion out of class number 5, Lily Wilson, Sarcoxie, Missouri. Reserve champion out of class number 6, Shay Rogers out of Searsboro, Iowa. Reserve champion out of class number 7, Kinsey Campbell, Corydon, Iowa. Reserve champion out of class number 8, Braden Callis, Minco, Oklahoma. Reserve champion out of class number 9, Riley Rogers, Searsboro, Iowa. Reserve champion out of class number 10, Mason C. Grady from Grandview, Texas. Reserve champion out of class number 11, Denver McKay from Orlando, Oklahoma. Reserve champion out of class number 12, Cade Stratman, West Point, Nebraska. Reserve champion out of class number 13, Parker Shala, Riverside, Iowa. Reserve champion out of class number 14, Madeline Norvell, Tuttle, Oklahoma. And reserve champion out of class number 15, Cash Pratt from Pueblo, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. This is the half of the top 30 out of the 165 animals that were shown today, having a chance for the Grand and Reserve Grand Drive right here, the National Western. Yeah, congratulations, exhibitors. Great job. Now for the champions of the 15 classes. Champion of class number 1, Aubrey Sturgeon, Rocky, Oklahoma. Champion of class number 2, Jake Scheikendans, Perrington, Texas. Champion of class number 3, Harper Robbins, Piketon, Ohio. Champion of class number 4, Vienna Sells, Omaha, Nebraska. Champion of class number 5, Madeline Lautner, Adel, Iowa. Champion of class number 6, Hadley Dunclaw, Wayne, Nebraska. Champion of class number 7, Trey Gortzka, Corydon, Iowa. Champion of class number 8, Cannon Riemann, Ree Heights, South Dakota. That should be Ryman. Sorry about that, Cannon. Class number 9, your champion, Hadley Bell, Bristow, Oklahoma. Champion out of class number 11, Kelton Arthur, Stillwater, Oklahoma. I did. Class number 10, champion out of class number 10, Reagan Rogers, Savannah, Missouri. Now we'll back up. Class number 11 champion, Kelton Arthur, Stillwater, Oklahoma. Champion class 12, Kiera Brimmer, Fullerton, Nebraska. Champion out of class number 13, Tyson Johnson, Monte Vista, Colorado. Champion out of class number 14, Berkeley McKay, Orlando, Oklahoma. And champion out of class number 15, Jack Grove out of Sterling, Colorado. Your champion drive for 2026, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a big round of applause again.
Well, here they are.
Yeah, there they are, buddy. Folks, it is an impressive lineup. I just can't tell you how good this set of calves is. And representing some of the greatest genetics in this business has to offer, doesn't it, Brad?
Yes, it does. And you get to digging a little bit on some pedigrees, and a lot of them go to these consistent donors of these programs that are doing it day in and day out for these guys.
We talk about some of these genetics and some of these leading sires, but a lot of the cows that we you sell embryos and promote embryos out of year after year. Or the reason we do that is because these calves that are in this champion drive are out of them. So, like that Class 1, that's a 1,209-pound calf from Aubrey Sturgeon in Rocky, Oklahoma. That's a next man up out of a maternal made cow. The next Class 2, that was a Jake Schickendance from Perriton, Texas. That's an In God Sugar Bear out of back to a horn cow. It's also owned with my good friend Tim Perry back in Ohio. That young man also, he won Austin and Houston last year, so he had a pretty good year.
Run.
Yeah. And then our class winner from Class 3, that's Harper Robbins from Breckton, Ohio. Of course, Harper couldn't be here. She had some surgery, so she had a good friend out of the bullpen come in there. That's a steer that is a Here I Am out of 777, that 777 donor at Ryman's, bred at Ryman Ranches. And then the Class 4 winner, that's Vienna Sells from Omaha, Nebraska. That's a 1,315-pound calf. That yellow calf is an In God of a full sib to Kelly. So another out of the great Kelly cow. And then your Class 5 winner, that is another famous name here in the Club Calf business. That's Madeline Lautner, Maddie Lautner, 1,333-pound calf, again from the Lautner family. And then follows up Hadley Dunklow. She wins Class 6 from Wayne, Nebraska. And that's a How Great Thou Art out of Nora. And, of course, Nora
would be a Ferguson donor.
Yep, Ferguson donor. And
doing a good job.
Yep,
for
doing
Noah
a great
and his
job.
Crew.
And then Class 7 is Trey Gretzka, of course, from Corden, Iowa. Young man here on the end of this aisle, this silver calf. That's an In God One Oak Monopoly calf. Class 6 or 8, that's, of course, Cannon Ryman. And that is a How Great Thou Art 606. So would have been bred by Brad Smith, of course, in the Carroll family. That calf weighed 1,399. In Class 9, standing right here in front of us, that's Miss Hadley Bell from Bristow, Oklahoma, on a 1,429-pound calf. Another calf that was pretty popular today. Class 10 is entry 5149. That's Reagan Rogers right behind her from Savannah, Missouri. That's a How Great Thou Art out of maternal maid, bred at Felton Farms, calved at Felton Farms.
Out of Indiana, correct?
Out of Indiana, right. And then the next one would go back to, that's Kelton Arthur from Stillwater on a Here I Am RCC 980 that was bred at
Mitch Dakey.
Mitch Dakey would have raised that calf. And then we go to Kiera Bremer. The Bremer girls had a big day from Fullerton, Nebraska. That's a 1,509-pound calf that was raised by Todd Lay. That is a How Great Thou Art at a 555, which is a maternal perfection. Class 13, that first was Tyson Johnson from Monte Vista, Colorado. That's a Pratt bred calf. Here, How Great Thou Art out of their great maternal maid donor, 8101. Class 14, Berkeley McKay on a 1,589-pound calf. That's a That's Right out of the McKay 3068 donor, which happened to be Red Elephant's mother. And then Class 15, that's Jack's Grove on a 1,610-pound calf bred at Geffert Farms. That's a How Great Thou Art out of a Predator.
We're going to listen to Mr. Epperly real quick here.
The people that raised the money, that built this building for the next 100 years, and I hope you all had nearly as much fun as I did today. I don't think any of you had as cool a job as I get to do once a year in this deal. I'm awful blessed, and thank you to everybody at National Western for having me.
There you have it. We missed a little bit of
Yeah,
it, but
okay.
he was breaking down how the referee and the three-panel system works a little bit. And who will be the ref on this, Jake?
There won't be. This is This is together. This is how they do this all together.
I got you. Different than throughout the day.
Yeah, different than throughout the day. So basically, they take turns. And since Kendall and Brent were have been the returning judges on the team, They gave Kendall the courtesy of being the A judge on the first class. So she'd have been the A judge on the first class, A judge on the fourth class, A judge on the seventh class, every 3 classes. And then Brent would have been the B judge on class 1, and then Blake would have been your referee. So if the two if they disagree on the first class, and they go to the referee's card to settle the disagreement. And I think, what did we have? Only one time today? Was it just one time today that we did that? That we agreed on everything?
Yeah.
One or two?
It might have been a couple.
Two, yeah.
And on the other side of the spectrum, we had some first to thirds to first to sixth, so we had some discrepancy in a few of the classes.
Yeah, we had one of the classes that was a A and B were in agreement, and the referee put the first place calf fifth. So you can get some differences. It darn sure can happen. So
How about that a couple of the Showmanship winners are back out here in the final drive, so that just tells you how much showmanship means.
yeah, it don't hurt if you got somebody out there that can kind of handle a stick and get one presented to the best of its ability. It never hurts to have someone on a stick that can sure get them done right.
When you get into a close situation, that's just enough to get them over the hump at times.
Right. Well, they can put 8 of them on this side and put 7 of them bigger ones on the other side.
Only thing we don't have is a red carpet.
Just don't have a red carpet. And really, we talked about it, that big steer that wins that big class, he looks pretty fresh for that big calf.
Somebody north of 1,600 a little ways.
Yep. I think he weighed 1610. Once again, folks, I don't know how many we got on here tonight, but I bet you it's well over 2,500 people watching this thing tonight, is it? 3,000? 3,000 people watching right now. And we want to thank all of our friends at ringsidelive.com, Landry and her crew, everybody at Ringside.
If you can't be here, it's the next best thing, right?
It is. And they have busted their humps this week. They've had people all over the place. Every show going on, every hog show, every goat show, every lamb show, every purebred show, every pin show I announced down the yards. They had
show.
They were everywhere. They were everywhere. Bringing you the coverage from the National Western and this amazing facility. And like I said, for those of you that didn't join us today, that might have tuned in late, this place is an absolute it's an absolute memorial to the beef cattle industry and to the livestock industry. If you have not been to the National Western or you haven't been in a while, we encourage you to take the time to come be with us each year here at the National Western. It is truly a great way to start your year, to come to the National Western and to honor these kids and these people that come and display their cattle here on the turf. I told them this week, I said, you guys need to rename this place the greatest show on turf, because I'm telling you, it is quite a place. Quite a place.
Got a correction.
Yeah. That
Correction. The RCC 980, mother of the Class 11 winner, was born and
that would have been Kelton
purchased
Arthur's.
from Ward Eckloff.
Yeah. That would have been Class 11 of Kelton Arthur's.
And must have been purchased by Mr. Dakey.
Yeah,
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, thanks for the correction. Yeah, so the Class 11 winner, that's Kelton Arthur. That's a Here I Am at RCC 980. Would have been raised by Ward Eckloff in Minden, Nebraska. What's the most famous thing in Minden, Nebraska besides Ward Eckloff and his wife, Christy? The Pioneer Village.
Oh, yeah. You need to give me a little more time.
Well, I know I've stressed you out today.
I have. My brain hadn't worked this hard in quite some time. All this trivia and just kind of everything turned to mush.
Yeah, we had quite a trivia show today, quite a trivia contest.
And the winner of our trivia contest drawing was Chris
Effling.
And he kindly donated it back to South Dakota Beef Boosters, and that'll be on their next fundraising online sale.
So for any of you that would like to purchase that trip, I would be glad to. We're going to donate that. We'll sell that in the South Dakota Beef Boosters, which will be sometime this spring.
I don't remember exactly when them guys do theirs.
I think
know
in May.
Iowa, we do ours in February.
Yeah, they
Maybe
think they
those
do
guys
theirs
are
in
a little
May.
later.
Yeah, I think May. Or April or May. But anyway, if you want to, you get on the I donate a trip at the Iowa Beef Boosters. I donate a trip now through Chris Effling. We'll do that one at the South Dakota State Fair, Beef Boosters. So get on there, and we encourage you. It's a trip to the stock show next year, to be here with us next year during the steer show, and you get
take all these great facilities.
Yeah,
get away
to come out here and see
days, eat you a big fillet.
Yeah.
Go from there, right? Jake?
Yeah. Go to the Capitol Grill one night and eat a big old filet. Have a shrimp cocktail. And we're going to be presenting the Nick Ryman Memorial Trophy.
Where's Murph run off to? Has he got a camouflage suit jacket on? I see.
Knowing Murphy's probably over there handling them reserves. I don't see him. Oh, he's right there in the middle.
Oh, yeah, right.
Bloomberg was covering him up.
Covering him up.
Oh.
I think them guys got some prime rib sliders or something. I bet they both took a good thing.
I don't know, but Bloomberg sure looked a lot happier when he came back than he did when he left.
Yep, a little more pep in his step. They're studying pretty intense.
Oh, my gosh. There's a lot of people sit at home with not much to do. The end of March, first part of April is when we do the South Dakota Beef Boosters. Thank you, Gina.
Yep. Got to kind of get it right.
Yeah, I better get it right. I don't want to be in the doghouse with Gina. I can get in there quite often. Somebody just texted me and said the most famous thing in Nebraska they thought was Q-Dog.
Oh, he is.
But I said Minden.
Not Minden.
No, he doesn't live in Minden.
They say he's going to run for governor next election.
He could win.
Yeah. He can bet horses too.
Yeah. He'd have a horse track in every town.
The last gambling escapade we had, though, he went down on us. He was going to buckle on us, and the kidney stones flared up.
Yeah.
Mom come to pick him up, and the cops were trailing her, and it was quite a night.
Yeah, Jane can have come to save him, and the old surrogate judge, his dogs are barking. Yeah, I know. It's dinner time, Joe. So, guys, we want to sure want to recognize Joe Epperly. Man, what an addition to this show. What he does. Joe explains how the three-man system works. He knows the ins and outs of it. He explains it so well. But he kind of acts as a surrogate judge here. So kids can kind of focus on Joe. He's the one that's in the ring with them all the time. He actually pulls the cattle and places them in every class, and just has been
the program break it down, right?
You bet. And he just Joe knows, just keeps everything flowing, and he's just a great part.
Directs the traffic. Keeps everything flowing through the day, and Joe does a great job. And I'm so tickled to death he's a Kansan now, so I'm glad he's moved to Kansas. Somebody just texted me saying that Q-Dog should have been up here. Probably don't need to do that. I think we'd got in trouble and we'd got fired.
Oh, yeah. Something would have been said and we would have never got our jobs back. Well, folks, I think the time is getting close here. All our judges have the way this deal works now on the Grand Drive. They all vote. They all place. Their steers, and I think they place the top 5.
I'm not sure.
Or maybe they place 1 through 15. I'm not sure on that. So
no, they wouldn't do that.
Probably not. So, but they will turn.
They're hashing it out, so we're getting down here to the.
Yep. Yep. They are a meeting committee right now. Hey, there are 2 steers that are in the Grand Drive. They're out of that 8101 maternal maid, that Duello and Pratt donor.
Yes.
That was sold in the Western Elite.
Okay. Little Duello action.
Do a little promo for the Western Elite for next year. For those of you that weren't with us last Saturday night,
quite a sale,
it was rock. It was awesome.
Dave had the good stuff.
Oh, David sold as good a high main set of females as we've ever sold in our life that night. And then
I had the chance to see a bunch of them during the collegiate
carload show, yeah.
And I thought, holy cow, he brought the heat.
Yeah, we did 1,000,001 that night for Dave. It was good. It was awesome. Big crowd, and they just snapped them up, and that was a great set of females, and yeah, it built for next year. Oh, and then we want to point out to you that my good friend Weston Hendricks from Empower You is going to be interviewing the judges. So he's going to, guys, be looking for the comment. Oh, here's our comments from Dr. Bloomberg.
I promise you one thing, this is no tent. She talked about that starting as a tent. And what a facility this is, and what an opportunity that we have in this venue to select your champion steer. And again, they come back out here, and I think that the cattle are full, they're fresh. Honestly, my opinion really doesn't count much because I'm just the referee. So, in the case of a tie, I would break it. So, those two they're unanimous on what they both like, and that's the great part of the three-man system. So, this is one hell of a set of cattle. I'm telling you, they were good from the first class to the 15th class. And all the way through. So give all these kids a good round of applause if you would. The great thing about what we've seen tonight is there's a team. There's a team at the National Western. There's a team here in this beef show. There's a team for all these kids and the people that are behind them and supporting them. And I wouldn't be here without my own team. My wife and my kids are at home. I'm sure all 4 of them in Ravenna are watching. That's what we do every day. We get up and we work as a family. I'm fortunate to have my brother on my team as my cattle partner, our 88-year-old grandparents who gave us a start, and our mom who's still involved with us. And it takes a team effort. And when we think about a team and what this means, and You know, the Ryman family's down here. Nick was a friend of mine, and we're fortunate to have the Louisville Supreme Heifer named after my dad and his untimely passing. And at the end of the day, this is a people business. And I talk a lot about that because I believe in it. Everybody wants to win and lose, and I understand that. Everything in my life is based around competition, whether it be a judging coach, whether it be with my kids showing, trying to raise the best cattle that you can, whatever it is. I like competition, but good competition makes you better. And if you don't think this is good competition out here, we gotta find something else to do. But the kids out here, I mean, they started on this project a year ago. We looked at these cattle for 30 to 45 minutes in the ring, and we made decisions, tough decisions. But it doesn't go unnoticed on me because I know what it takes and the effort that you've put in, and I'm sure some of you didn't have the trip that you wanted to. But if you do, you got to be grateful for it. And how lucky are we right now in the state of agriculture to have all these new facilities? We got this one here. We got multiple other ones going up. The first time I came over the hill, I thought Denver was the biggest city that I'd ever seen. And to be out here to share my opinion with you with two other people that I respect. I met Murph through a good family friend of ours, Ernie Wallace, who was one of the great friends of my dad. And I had the opportunity to coach Kendall, and then she ran up and down the road with me as my assistant coach. It's good to judge with people that you respect. Doesn't mean we saw them all the same. Doesn't mean that we saw them the same as we got back out here. But I just appreciate the opportunity, and it's humbling. And you kids should be humbled to even have the chance because there's a lot of people up in the stands that would sure take your place. The amount of time and effort that goes into it and just what these National Western crew is doing for you as far as the Sale of Champions and all the things that they put into our youth. I hope in 120 years they got a new facility, and this one we'll think of as old and outdated, and they build a new one. I won't be here to see it. I don't think any of us will, but I sure do appreciate it, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Hell of a show, hell of a venue, just a hell of an event. So give them a round of applause. I'm going to turn it over to Kendall, and we're going to get rolling.
Well, thank you, Blake. Honestly, there's not very many times I've come to a microphone and been speechless. And one of those times is right now. This is truly awesome, guys. And it all starts from the breeders that made these things. That's probably one of the hardest jobs. You guys have nailed it this year. The fitters, the parents, thank you. And especially thank you to the kids. Every kid that came in the ring today, you guys are going to have the opportunity someday to say, I showed in the first steer show in the new building at National Western Stock Show, and that is something I hope that you go home and you are proud of. Go ahead, give them a round of applause. It is so hard to get to this point, and like I said, this is my second year. Like I said last year, up here, Colorado's my home. I was in you guys' shoes at one point, and I'll be honest, I don't know how these steers just keep getting better, but they do. Every year you come here and you're like, man, I saw the best calf I've ever seen. You come back the next year, they just keep getting better. And you kids have done a tremendous job. I really am speechless for the show today. To the entire National Western staff, I said it last year, there's too many names for me to name off. You know who you are. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for asking me to do this. I grew up here, showing at the National Western with my family. And it truly, probably the biggest honor for me is to be out here with you guys. And so it takes a true army to put on an event like this and to make it run so smoothly, especially in a new building. I'm sure that they had pressure on their shoulders to get this thing pulled off, and they sure as heck did, guys. For those of you who question if Denver's ever coming back, is it going to ever be Denver again, we are so back. We are so back. And if you don't believe me, look at these steers and these kids in this ring. I hope it keeps getting better. We keep progressing forward. We got the right kind of people to make this show great and keep getting better every single year. And so thank you to the kids. Especially thank you to my family, my friends, my supporters, everyone who's helped me get here. Like I said, biggest honor I have ever been asked to do is to judge this steer show. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Let's give it up for these kids. We'll give the microphone over to Murph.
Well, as we come to close, first off, we can echo a lot of what the other two have said, but before we get there, so I don't forget, first off, it's my honor and privilege to be here the second year. Hey, I thought it was a dream the first year, and I guess somehow I didn't get fired, and they asked me back. But with that said, it's been an honor today to do it with the two people we've done it with. Let's give Blake and Kendall a round of applause. I promise you, second to none in every aspect of it. You know, we talked about it a little bit last year. It's okay to disagree. It truly is. And I'm good with it. And as we look through the day, there was a lot of scatter, and at times I was the one that scattered the furthest, and that's okay, because that's not, you guys, you line that up however you need to. That's a testament to what these classes were like. The quality was good. You prioritized them the way you needed to. You made them fit where you needed to, and that's kind of the way it was. So it's been an honor and a privilege to judge with two people. For sure, one of them, Kendall's probably more qualified than me. Blake's still on the bubble. We haven't scored him yet for day. He's been pretty ornery. But as we get past that, National Western, let's give them a huge round of applause. All these folks sitting in these chairs right here. You know, I stood up there in that dirt a year ago. I was thinking about it as I flew out here, and I stood up there on that dirt a year ago, and I talked about 119 years that have been through there and what all had happened. Talked about the progression of livestock. I talked about young people. Talked about how we changed their lives, how they met their wife, how they learned life lessons. All those things are good. This year, I'm going to leave us all with a challenge, me included in every aspect of the way. I'm going to challenge us all to make the next 119 years better with the higher level of integrity, a higher level of a competition, and more focused on our young people than we ever have. So I think if we do that as grown-ups, I think what these people have done, what everybody's done to help us get here, I think no matter what the world tells us, I'll put these agriculture kids against anything in this world, and I promise you they're going to succeed. Okay? I want to tell a little quick story. You know, I get long-winded at times, and I don't mean to keep you all, but this is a pretty cool story. And things hit me, and I'm 100% off the cuff. I was standing over there thinking about that, and I was looking around. I was thinking about volunteers they talked about. I had the coolest guy pick me up at the airport the other day, okay? He was one of the coolest guys I visited with. His name was Jack. You get these messages. The people are incredible here as they talk to you and they take care of you. They line up your hotels. They line up all that stuff for you. And I get to the airport yesterday afternoon, and there's this little guy in a black Toyota van. His name's Jack. And I meet him, and he's texting me back and forth, and I go right out the door, and there he sits, got the biggest smile on him, on his face you ever seen. We get to visit, and he asked me where I'm from in Missouri, and I told him, and then he kind of looks at me, and he says, you know, he says, 8 years ago, me and my wife took our bicycles to the Katy Trail in central Missouri, 20 minutes from my house, and they rode about 3/4 of the way across Missouri. Now, that's a long ways, and especially on a bicycle, okay? And I listened to him for a minute tell that story, and I asked him, I said, Jack, I got to ask you something, and I'm not being nosy. I said, 8 years ago when you rode those bikes, 250, 300 miles, how old were you? He said, 8 years ago I was 84. Okay? 8 years ago he's 84. Simple Missouri math, that means he's 92. Okay? Now here's the coolest thing about that. He told me he'd lived in Denver, in the outskirts of Denver for 66 years, but here's my point. He told me he'd volunteered at the National Western for 33 years. Okay? 33 years. This story isn't just solely about Jack. It's about all these people that run this show, all these people up there, all these people that put this much passion in terms of agriculture, in terms of your young people to make them better. How absolutely infectious that is, okay? That's the coolest thing about it. It's pretty impressive he rode his bike. I couldn't ride a bike 10 miles, let alone that, and I'm not 84. But my point is, they get volunteers. Tell them all thanks. Tell these people that run these shows thanks. Tell them how much you appreciate them. And I'll tell you what, look what happens when we show them a little bit of respect. We show them how much we appreciate it, and you keep bringing your young people out here to make them better humans. So I'll tell you what, it's been an honor and a privilege to be here with you. I got to thank my family. They're at home calving cows, taking care of things. I'll have a long list of things I did wrong today when I talk to my boys tonight, without question, and that's cool because I truly mean this, young people. Don't ever think you got to compromise your decisions or your opinion if it's from your heart, okay? If you believe in your heart, stick with it. Look somebody in the eye. Give them a firm handshake. Get behind your family. Get behind your faith. Let people like this give you venues to come out here and excel, and it will absolutely be an incredible life for you. It's been an awesome steer show. It's been a pleasure to be here. Let's give them all one more big round of applause.
Okay, Brad.
Well, here we go.
Here we go. All the pomp and circumstance is over. The speeches have been made.
Sounds like they matched
I
up
think they know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to let Miss.
And you did say it wrong earlier. There is a referee system.
Yeah, I was wrong.
And right now, Bloomberg, I believe, he said he is the ref. So
Yep.
his don't matter because both of them matched, it sounded
Yep.
like.
He's the rookie on the team this year, so. Oh, my gosh. Cannon Ryman. Oh, boy. Cannon Ryman wins the steer show, folks.
Out of class number 8.
Out of class number 8. Oh, my gosh. They love that calf in that class,
yeah, they
folks.
talked him very, very highly.
Yep, they did. That calf's a How Great Thou Art 606. Bred by Brad Smith and, of course, Carroll family in California, which have now moved their operation to Perkins, Oklahoma. I know an old boy from Esterville is going to be pretty happy tonight.
He might miss his plane tomorrow.
So now both Cannon and Croy have received their dad's trophy. What an absolute unbelievable night. In the first show ever here in the building, Cannon's going to receive her dad's trophy tonight. Wow. This little girl wasn't even old enough to she remembers her daddy, but boy, she was pretty little when he passed away, folks. And this is a very special time for that family again. Just 2 years ago, her brother Croy won it, and then 2 years later, his little sister is going to be the champion steer at Denver. They're the second place calf in that class was Braden Callis. Of course, Braden from Minco, Oklahoma, is a How Great Thou Art steer. Of course, his dad judges he's as good a livestock evaluator as is in the country, and they know what a good one's supposed to look like. So Braden's got a shot here. I don't see Luke. Where's Luke at?
Probably tipping one.
He's probably fell over. So Kent and Nora Ryman, parents of Nick Ryman, Nick's widow, Kirsten, and then the two Ryman children, Croy and Cannon, are all down there in the picture. Very cool moment.
Had a nice visit with Kent and Nora upstairs here during the intermission, and two great people. Always up for a visit and always in a pretty good mood.
Always. Always, always, always.
Now we're getting down here for the reserve selection.
Yep. Well, they're having a little bit of a discussion here. So I don't know if it's written in stone yet or not. There's Luke.
Still hashing it out a little bit.
Yeah, they're still talking it out.
Miss Bell.
So Miss Bell, Bristow, Oklahoma, your Class 9 winner was Hadley Bell from Bristow. So your grand steer again, Cannon Ryman, Rehide, South Dakota. That's champion steer, came out of Class 8. Again, that is a How Great Thou Art 606, weighing 1399. And your reserve champion steer from Hadley Bell, Bristow, Oklahoma, weighing 1429. Congratulations to both Cannon and to Hadley. Well, Brad, thanks for doing this with me.
Enjoy it, Jake. I really do. I know I give you a little hassle once
That's
in a
all
while.
right, man.
It's all in good fun.
I love your knowledge. I love having you up here.
You bet. Try to keep it lively and enjoy a bird's
Folks,
eye view of seeing good cattle and appreciate everybody tuning in.
You bet. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Y'all have a great 2026. Cannot wait to see you down the road, and we'll see you again near next year to 2027 National Western.